Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm glad you chose to watch us tonight instead of the Auburn game, but I'm kind of preoccupied with that. We're going to spend about the next 10 minutes talking about the weather that's going on. We expect this weekend we'll see some showers, a few thunderstorms late tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours, and then overnight tomorrow night, some rumbles of thunder coming through. Should see some stronger thunderstorms tomorrow night, but nothing severe. And then the severe weather threats coming, and it looks pretty robust for Sunday night into early Monday morning. So the first part of this, we're going to be talking about today's weather, tomorrow's weather, and the fire we had in East Limestone, a little bit of a wildfire, almost kind of a brush fire, we'll call it, as the grass caught on fire. We don't know what happened, don't know what sparked it, but we know it all happened just before 4 o'clock today, and thankful for the volunteer firefighters there in East Limestone for putting that out. But as far as your weather right now goes, we got some good weather out there. It's comfortable. I said you wouldn't need a jacket today, so there's good news there. But overall, we're looking pretty good. Temperature-wise, we're in the 70s out there right now, and we'll continue to be in the 70s for a few more hours, and then we drop into the 60s overnight tonight. Rain chances really pick up late tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours, and that's when we do anticipate a few of those showers, a few thunder showers. We'll be talking more about that coming up in just a few minutes. See, we got one comment, but not showing up over here right now just yet. So again, we're working on some new software here, and hope to have that working here over the coming days, but it doesn't look like it's going to be working tonight. So let's share with you what's going on tonight. We've got this storm system that really plagued South Texas with very heavy rain. They had over 14 inches of rain in the last 48 hours, a lot of flooding. Some of you may be familiar with South Padre Island. I'm actually going to be there next week. I'm going to go fishing down there Tuesday, but it's not a fishing trip. It's about the hurricane conference. Hurricane season begins June 1st, so we're going to hear from some of the experts on this year's hurricane forecast. In fact, Dr. Phil Klotzbach is going to be down there. I will be interviewing him, and I'll be sharing that interview the following week here on the 48 Weather Plus Extra here. As far as the weather goes, though, they've been looking at these heavier showers, and this has been the real challenge with the forecast all week long, is the fact the forecast guidance has tried to push this rain farther east a little earlier, but it's almost moving due north. And one of the main reasons is a big area of high pressure blocking the rain from moving too far east. So I think our area of rain is going to be moving in later in the day. You can clearly see this upper level low here. They've had a tornado watch down in Louisiana most of the day today because of the wind shear and a little bit of instability. But it's this upper low that's kind of giving us fits with the forecast. But the main area low pressure, you can see that moving towards San Francisco. That's what's going to give us issues Sunday night into Monday. So all ahead of this today, we've had some gusty winds out of the south, and a lot of the grass is dormant. And I want to take you here to Limestone County. This was caught by our Doppler radar tower. And this is going to be a time lapse. And as you look at this, we start off, look at the area here. That fire just spreads very, very quickly. So again, volunteer fire department was out there. They put that out rather quickly. So this time lapse is roughly from 4 o'clock to about 5 o'clock this Friday afternoon. You can just see how charred that is. They stuck around for about an hour just to make sure there were no hot spots that flared up there with that. I'm going to put that into motion one more time. I think I can just double click there. So again, this is the time lapse. You can get this same video if you go to our website at waff.com. You click on weather, you go to our weather cams, and you can click over and you can actually do a time lapse from any day of the year. You kind of go back and look at that. And where we have a camera, you can get that information. So pretty wild there. Again, there's a lot of subdivisions just on the north side as you get into East Limestone. You got Capshaw Road. Those subdivisions were really in jeopardy. That fire, the smoke plume from that fire actually showed up on the Doppler radar. So that was pretty wild too. So let's take a look now at your forecast. We begin with tomorrow morning. What we're looking at is a dry start to the day. 1 o'clock, those showers get really close to the Mississippi-Alabama state line. We begin to see better rain chances as we get on into, say, 4 o'clock. But this is going to slowly creep to the east all day. And some of you east of I-65 may not see any significant rain or thunderstorm activity until after 7 o'clock tomorrow night. So you notice we kind of get a drier pattern here by 7 o'clock in the evening. So again, don't cancel your plans for Saturday evening, and definitely don't cancel your plans for Sunday afternoon. Got just a few questions. Oh yeah, Clay, that was in East Limestone, French's Mill area off of Highway 72 as far as that fire is concerned. So as we get to early Sunday morning, we're going to watch an area of showers and thunderstorms fire up. The model guidance continues to delay this a little bit. And a lot of times we look for situations just like this to say, okay, is the rain going to move in the morning and cool us off? And typically that happens in our cooler seasons. But right now, I don't think this is going to lessen the threat of severe weather as we go into the late night hours, Sunday night into Monday, because the atmosphere is going to recharge very, very quickly. And we are going to be talking about that coming up. Going to run a break here, and we will be back. Again, this is a minute break. For some of you, it's a slate. For some of you, it's a few commercials. So we'll be right back here in less than a minute. We lost like 150 of you during that break. And again, we're working on changing this format because we realize it takes a lot to stare at this blank screen, this sponsored screen for a minute and a half in some cases. So again, pardon our progress, so to speak. So what I'm going to talk about here is the threat for severe weather coming in as we go through the day on Sunday, especially Sunday night into Monday morning. The time frame we're kind of locking in on is 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Areas in red, and this is all going to be tracking in from the northwest to the southeast. So we do expect this to be a fairly stout line of storms. Think of it as summertime thunderstorms in the respect of the amount of lightning we have. There's going to be a lot of lightning out there with these storms as they track off to the east and southeast. There's going to be some large hail initially, and we'll likely be under a tornado watch all night, Sunday night into Monday morning. Now, having said that, the tornado threat is not all that high. There's just a huge impact here with the thunderstorms themselves. A lot of lightning, very heavy rain, and strong gusty winds over 60, maybe 65 miles per hour. And as we go past midnight, this all spreads to the east. So as we go beyond 10 o'clock in the morning Sunday, here's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think we're going to be rain-free. That's just an artifact of the model guidance there. We're back up to 408 people, though, by the way, so some people just getting the message. And again, it's Friday night. A lot of you watching the Auburn game, so maybe you're watching me on your phone and you're watching the Auburn game on your TV. But 7 o'clock Sunday evening, it's quiet, but it's very muggy. It's going to have that eerie feeling out there. Probably going to hear some insects, frogs out there, and they're all coming back. That humidity really brings back some of those insects, by the way. So one thing that's changing a little bit in the model guidance, and I know that graphic I just showed you said 10 o'clock to roughly midnight start time. It's delaying a little bit here, but once this all arrives, it's going to be fairly stout, robust thunderstorms developing and tracking to the east-southeast. Tonight at 10 on WFF 48 News at 10, I'm going to be sharing the BAMS 3-kilometer model and it's got a lot better resolution than what you're seeing here. In fact, Barron Services is working on that model for us right now as we speak. And I think it's going to be earlier than 3:15 in the morning. I think this is the European model I've got in here. But regardless, we do expect very heavy rain, strong gusty winds, and the potential for a lot of hail, and maybe some of these low-end tornadoes. The lightning intensity, this is actually down a bit. I'm just now looking at this model here. This is the 18Z model, but it doesn't show as much lightning, but don't be surprised if we get a lot of lightning. And I think it's because this model's delaying the storms as they come in just a little bit. So we'll continue to watch that. But overall, your 10-day forecast, we're looking at 73 degrees tomorrow, 78 Sunday. It's going to be muggy. It's going to feel warmer than that. Strong to severe storms after midnight Sunday night into Monday morning, and the rain could linger. A lot of times when we get these big complexes of storms move in, they last several hours. We end up getting 2 to 3 inches of rain, and you get that lightning that just kind of continues on. But the initial severe weather threat may only last a couple of hours, and then as it moves through, that thing's quiet down. Monday afternoon, we're going to have to keep watching the temperatures fall. Upper 50s by sunset, and morning lows Tuesday could actually be in the 30s. So that's another side of the storm system we're going to have to watch. And then next week, we're already outlook for severe weather by the Storm Prediction Center for Wednesday. We've been seeing this for several days, so it's just going to be a very active weather pattern, and I urge you to just stay weather alert, especially with these overnight events. I know this seems to be the pattern here. We're going to get another overnight severe weather event. Make sure you have the means to get those warnings, make sure they can wake you up. So weather radio is what we preach here. With these storms. You should be okay as far as your hallway and your well-built homes. Mobile homes, again, are the most susceptible with this type of weather. It's very chaotic. All it takes is a tree falling on your mobile home to create those big problems. And winds over 80 miles per hour can flip a mobile home. I don't expect those widespread types of winds, but it only takes one of those wind gusts, and of course, some of those tornadoes produce more than 80 mile per hour winds, as we know. We're still looking at the possibility of dogwood winter sometime beyond April 7th or 8th, so we'll continue to monitor that. Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to get ready for the 10 o'clock news. Again, I'm going to share some higher resolution model data from Barron Services with you. At that time, it should paint a better picture than what I just showed you here. That European model just kind of gets wishy-washy sometimes, and I don't think it's on point. I think some of the higher resolution models are, and I'll share that tonight on WFF 48 News at 10.